you ever been in an argument? Have you ever wanted to show somebody that you're right and that they're not? Why? What causes arguments? Well, speaking for myself, I find that arguments come up when I'm trying to feel understood. You know, it seems like I see something, somebody else thinks I'm ridiculous, but it just doesn't seem like they're seeing what I'm seeing, and I don't want to feel ridiculous. I don't want them to think I'm ridiculous, and so I'm trying to show them that actually I'm not so ridiculous. But then what happens is, in the process of trying to show them that I'm not ridiculous, I give this impression that I think they're ridiculous. And this leads to a kind of spiraling away from truth, away from each other. There's this conflict, and it leads to polarization. I remember this over little things, like, so my wife and I, we were having a debate over the height of curbs next to roads. That's right, I have this theory about curbs changing their heights depending on the landscape next to them, and she had a different theory about their heights being more static. And so, naturally, I went to Google to to find facts that would support my view of the curbs. And she went on and built up her case, and we argued back and forth, and it was kind of ridiculous. I mean, in the end, we were really just had different thoughts in mind about what it even means to be a curb and what counts to change in height. And we had different concepts. So we were sort of talking past each other. But more than that, we were trying to establish our own viewpoint in order that we would feel appreciated and known and understood. So while she was feeling like I wasn't entering into her perspective, I was feeling like she wasn't understanding my perspective, and we continued to fight against each other. What I find is this happens in the context of investigating the foundations of existence. So I'm interested in worldview design. I want to use reason to probe to the ground of reality and investigate it, to find out what reason tells us, the light of reason reveals about its nature. Now, it seems to me that reason reveals greatness at the foundation, that greatness springs from a great foundation, a foundation that has self-existence. Its greatness is not explained by anything else. In fact, it has supreme greatness. And I think reason reveals this. But what about those who see things differently? Right? I mean, maybe they're aware of the same reasons I am, but they find flaws in those reasons. And from their perspective, I'm just missing these flaws. And they might even wonder, how can this guy think that reason leads to that conclusion in the face of these flaws? I mean, is he just trying to protect his religious views? Is he just, using reason because he's insecure and he's trying to show that, well, I'm reasonable? Well, that would make sense if it looks like I'm using reason to beat up on you, rather than using reason to add value, to really share an understanding of the world for your consideration, to help you, and to invite you to help me so we can collaborate rather than compete. So this, I think, is actually the solution to idea conflict. People debate in politics over things, philosophy and religion. Do these debates have to go on forever? One of my friends has told me recently that we can just agree to disagree. Is that the solution, to agree to disagree? Or can we actually have a productive dialogue where we're friends in the process? I think we can. In fact, that same friend later thanked me for a continuing conversation about something that we both gained an understanding through mutual exchange of ideas. And so we can grow from each other, we can learn from each other. But it all starts with this single attitude to see the person as not an enemy, but as a friend. To use reason to love people, to use reason to add value to people. And that's the whole purpose of this worldview design, is to be honest. Here I am behind a camera and behind arguments, and I want to step out from the camera, if I could, behind the arguments, and just be me, just a person. I'm just a person, just like you. Whatever you think about the world, you and I have this in common. We're people. And we have that same need to feel known, feel understood, and that same interest in understanding what's true about the world. And so I'm creating this for you. Not because I think that I know so much more than you and I'm superior. No, I am expecting to learn from you. But I do think that I've found some insights that can help people using reason, and I want to share those because I want to encourage people. So there it is. People conflict over ideas, but the solution is, instead of competing, we work together and we value each other. So that's why everything that I do in all these videos, my goal is to add value. I really want to give people something that matters to them. So I've got reason in hand, and I'm using reason to reveal interesting things about the foundations of the universe. And I hope this is valuable to you.